Assalamu alaikum. My name is Wajiha. Today the topic of my presentation is the jaundice. Firstly, we'll discuss about the introduction of the jaundice. Jaundice icterus is a clinical sign characterized by the yellow pigmentation of the skin, sclera, and the mucous membranes. It results from elevated serum bilirubin level, typically above 2 to the 3 mg per deciliter. Understanding the pathological basis of jaundice is crucial for diagnosing and treating the underlying cause effectively. Then we will discuss about the bilirubin metabolism, the core pathway. Firstly, we'll discuss about what's happened in the bilirubin. Bilirubin is a catabolic product of the heme metabolism. Approximately 85% come from the aged red blood cell. The remainder originates from the breakdown of the infective erythropoiesis, cytochromes, and myoglobin. The first step of the bilirubin metabolism is the heme degradation. Firstly, we'll discuss what happens in the heme degradation. Heme degradation is the process of breaking down heme, a component of hemoglobin in red blood cell, and in the heme degradation, heme is converted to the biliverdin by the heme oxygenase. The second step of the bilirubin metabolism is the biliverdin reduction. In this step, biliverdin is reduced to the bilirubin by biliverdin reductase. Biliverdin is the green pigment which is produced by the heme breakdown, and the bilirubin is the yellow-orange pigment. The third step of the bilirubin metabolism is the transport to the liver. In this step, bilirubin binds to the albumin and is transported to the liver. The fourth step of the bilirubin metabolism is the conjugation. Firstly, we will see that what's happened in the process of the conjugation. Conjugation reactions occur in the liver and make bilirubin water soluble, allowing it to be excreted into the bile and ultimately is into the intestine. And in this process of the conjugation, it's occur in the liver. Bilirubin is conjugated to the glucouronic acid by UDP glucuronyl transferase, forming bilirubin glucuronides. The fifth step of the bilirubin metabolism is the excretion. In this step, conjugated bilirubin is excreted into the bile and then into the intestine. The last step of the bilirubin metabolism is the gut metabolism, and the gut metabolism occurs in the intestine and play a crucial role in eliminating the bilirubin from the body. And in this step of the gut metabolism, intestinal bacteria convert conjugated bilirubin to the urobilinogen, which is further metabolized to the urobilin and the stercobilin. Firstly, we will discuss about what's happened in the urobilin and the stercobilin. In urobilin, a yellow pigment produced from the oxidation of the urobilinogen. Some urobilin is reabsorbed into the bloodstream and excreted in the urine, giving it a yellow color. And in the stercobilin, a brown pigment produced from the further metabolism of the urobilinogen in the intestine. Stercobilin is responsible for the brown color of the feces. Then we will discuss about the classification of the jaundice pathological categories. Jaundice can be classified into the three main pathological categories. The first one is the prehepatic jaundice. Prehepatic jaundice occurs when there is an increase in the bilirubin production or load before it reaches the liver. The cause of the prehepatic jaundice is increased bilirubin production, for example, hemolysis and infective erythropoiesis. In hemolysis, there is a breakdown of the red blood cell releasing more bilirubin into the bloodstream. And in the infective erythropoiesis, abnormal production of red blood cell leading to increased bilirubin production. Lab finding of the prehepatic jaundice. The first one is elevated indirect unconjugated bilirubin. Second one is normal or slightly elevated liver enzyme that are the ALT and the AST. ALT is found primarily in the liver cell and the AST found primarily in the liver cell as well as in the other tissues, for example heart and the muscle tissues. ALG elevated level often indicate the liver damage, for example hepatitis, and AST levels often indicate the liver damage but may also due to the other conditions, for example muscle damage. The third step of the lab finding of the prehepatic jaundice is increased reticulocyte count if due to hemolysis. The fourth step is the urine urobilinogen may be elevated. Then we will discuss about the second step of the classification of the jaundice, which is the hepatic jaundice. Hepatic jaundice occurs when the liver is unable to properly process bilirubin due to the liver cell damage or dysfunction. The cause of the hepatic jaundice is the liver dysfunction or the damage. For example, hepatitis or the liver cell damage. In the hepatitis, there is inflammation of the liver, and in the liver cell damage, there is the various toxin medications or infections. Lab findings of the hepatic jaundice. The first one is the elevated both direct conjugated and indirect bilirubin. Second one is elevated liver enzyme ALT and AST. The third one is the possible prolongation of the PT and INR. PT is the prothrombin time and INR is the international normalized ratio that are used to assess the liver function, especially the liver's ability to produce the clotting factor. The fourth one is the albumin level may be decreased. The last step of the classification of the jaundice is the post-hepatic jaundice, which is also known as the obstructive jaundice. And the post-hepatic jaundice occur when there is a blockage in the bile ducts, preventing bilirubin from flowing into the intestine. And the cause of the post-hepatic jaundice is the gallstone and the tumor. Gallstones are the stones in the common bile duct, and the tumors there is a pancreatic cholangiocarcinoma or the other tumors compressing or obstructing the bile duct. Lab finding of the post-hepatic jaundice, the first one is the elevated direct conjugated bilirubin, second one is the elevated alkaline phosphatase ALP and the gamma glutamyl phosphatase transferase GGT. And the ALP alkaline phosphatase is found in the liver, bone, and the other tissues. And the ALP level are indicate liver or the bone pathology. GGT, gamma glutathione transferase, are found in the liver and the bile ducts, and its elevated levels often specific to the liver or the bile duct disease. And the GGT can help confirm liver origin of the elevated ALP. Then we will discuss about the special pathological syndrome. The first one is the Gilbert syndrome, a benign genetic condition causing mild intermittent jaundice due to decreased bilirubin glucuronidation. And in the Gilbert syndrome, it's elevated conjugated bilirubin level and it is triggered by the stress, fasting or illness. And the Gilbert syndrome is asymptomatic but may cause the mild jaundice and there is no specific treatment needed for the Gilbert syndrome. The second one is the Crigler-Najjar syndrome, and the Crigler-Najjar syndrome is a rare genetic disorder which is characterized by the severe unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia due to almost complete deficiency of the bilirubin glucuronide transferase. And the Crigler-Najjar syndromes are the two types, type 1 and the type 2. The type 1, there is a complete deficiency of bilirubin glucuronide transferase leading to severe jaundice and leading to the severe jaundice. And in the type 2 of the Crigler-Najjar syndrome, there is a partial deficiency or the milder symptoms. Treatment may include the phototherapy medication. The third one is the Dubin-Johnson syndrome. And the Dubin-Johnson syndrome is a rare genetic disorder which is caused chronic jaundice due to an inability to secrete conjugated bilirubin into the bile. And in the Dubin-Johnson syndrome, there is a chronic elevation of the conjugated bilirubin and the liver appear black due to the epinephrine metabolic accumulation. And the Dubin-Johnson syndrome is asymptomatic but may have the mild jaundice and the liver enzyme elevation. The fourth one is the Rotor syndrome. Similar to the but without color discoloration. And in the Rotor syndrome, it's generally benign and asymptomatic, and there is a chronic elevation of the conjugated bilirubin. And the unconjugated hyperbilirubinemia are the Crigler-Najjar syndrome and the Gilbert syndrome. And the conjugated hyperbilirubinemia are the Dubin-Johnson syndrome and the Rotor syndrome. Then we will discuss about the complications of the jaundice. Complication of the jaundice can vary depending on the underlying cause. Some potential complications include the first one is the kernicterus. And the kernicterus is a serious condition in the newborns where high bilirubin level damage to the brain, potentially leading to the developmental delays, hearing loss. It causes the permanent neurological damage. The second one is the liver damage or failure. Prolonged or the severe liver dysfunction can lead to the liver failure or even the liver cancer. And in the liver damage or the failure, the jaundice progresses with the coagulopathy and encephalopathy. And the third one is the infection. In this process, obstructive jaundice can increase the risk of the cholangitis, a potentially life-threatening infections of the bile duct. What happens in the cholangitis? Cholangitis is inflammation of the bile duct, often caused by the bacterial infection. It can be ascending cholangitis and the primary sclerosing cholangitis. Then we will discuss about the pathological diagnosis tool and the technique. The first one is the LFT. LFT stands for the liver function test. In this test, we measure the liver enzyme, bilirubin, and the other markers to assess the liver function. Second one is the imaging studies. In the imaging study, the first one is the ultrasound. In the ultrasound, we detect the bile duct obstruction, gallstones, and the liver masses. The second one in the imaging studies is the CT scan or the MRI. The CT scan and the MRI provides detailed images of the liver, bile ducts, and the pancreas. The third one of the imaging studies is the ERCP. E stands for the endoscopic, R stands for the retrograde, and the CP stands for the pancreatography. And the ERCP visualize the bile and the pancreatic duct. And the third one is the liver biopsy. In the liver biopsy, it examines the liver tissues for inflammation, fibrosis, or the cancer. And the fourth one is the endoscopy. It's evaluate the upper GIT tract for causes of the jaundice such as the ampullary tumors. And what happens in the ampullary tumors? Ampullary tumors are the rare growth that occurs at the ampulla of the water, a small area where the bile and the pancreatic duct empties into the small intestine. These tumors can be benign and malignant. These tools and techniques help diagnose the underlying cause of the jaundice, provides appropriate treatments and management. That's all from the topic. Thank you.